Hello, and welcome to our Boston Neighborhood series. Today, we are talking about the beautiful South End, a neighborhood bursting with history, culture, and hidden treasures. So let's dive in and discover what makes this a special place. Make sure you stay until the end, and I will go over what a perfect day in the South End looks like to me. If you're looking to make a move, please reach out. I would love to chat. My contact information is on the screen below and also in the description. Now let's get back to the South End. The South End is right in the heart of Boston. Picture this, tree-lined streets and those elegant brownstone buildings. It's like a slice of history with a modern twist. Back in the day, in the 1850s, the South End was a neighborhood filled with townhomes for wealthy merchants. In laying out the streets, the planners followed the English park model of residential squares, where there's a plot of grass in the middle of the street and houses surrounding it. There was a bit of decline that happened during the mid-20th century as Back Bay became the more popular neighborhood for people to live in. But then we saw a revival in the late 20th century as young professionals and artists flocked to the area, leading to gentrification. If you're visiting the South End, don't miss these spots. Walk along Union Park and soak up the Victorian brownstones. This is a perfect example of the English park planning model. Bop along Tremont Street and Shawmut Ave and hop into some stores. My favorites are Hudson Interiors if you're looking for curated home goods, Formaggio for local cheese and artisanal groceries, or M. Flynn if you want to splurge on some fine and funky jewelry. Then head over to SOA, which stands for South of Washington Street. There's a plethora of art galleries and studios that showcase work of local artists. Let's talk food. The South End is a food lover's paradise. Tremont Street is lovingly referred to as Restaurant Row because there are tons of dining options that dot along the block. But there are amazing options throughout the South End. Try Myers and Chang if you're looking for Asian-inspired small plates, or Copa if you're looking for Italian. And don't miss Cava if you're in the mood for Greek. Their zucchini chips are probably the best in Boston. If you're looking for lunch options, check out Billy's Sub Shop. They're family-owned, super nice, and their setup reminds me of old-school diners that you really don't see anymore. Housing-wise, you'll find classic brownstones and a mix of modern luxury condos. The Ink Block area is a great example of newer luxury high-rises that have state-of-the-art amenities like squash courts, fitness centers, and a massive rooftop deck. A couple of streets away, you'll find the 8th Streets neighborhood, which works hard to preserve its historic charm. In this landmarked neighborhood, you'll only find historic buildings. In the South End, there's truly something for everybody. Pricing for real estate in the South End can vary drastically because it's such a large neighborhood with different sub-neighborhoods. The average pricing for a 2-bedroom condo is $1.4 million. Getting around is easy. Because the South End is located centrally within Boston, you can walk everywhere. If you need to reach a different part of Boston, there are several bus lines that run through the South End, and there are a handful of T stations nearby, depending on where you live. You can catch the Orange Line from Mass Ave or the Back Bay stations, or you can find the Green Line at Copley or Prudential Center. Throughout the year, the South End hosts some cool events. SOA First Fridays is a must-visit for art lovers. On the first Friday of every month, the artists, galleries, and showrooms in the local neighborhood open their doors to the public. You can meet the artists, view the latest gallery exhibitions, and there's usually beverages so you can sip and shop. Different parts of the South End also host their own individual events throughout the year. Ringgold Park in 8th Street typically has a Halloween gathering for little ones before they go trick-or-treating. Shawmut Ave by Franklin and Blackstone Square throws an Oktoberfest party, and small businesses throughout the South End will have a Christmas stroll with special deals and promotions. That's one of the main draws of living in this area for young families and empty nesters. You have the benefit of living in the city and all of its conveniences, but you still have a strong sense of community and programming. Now, like with any place, there are its pros and cons. Cost of living can be a bit high. Because we've seen an upward appreciation consistently within this area, the cost of entry is on the steeper side. This goes for renting and buying. Because it's one of the most popular areas to live in, it's a competitive market with low inventory. Another con is porch pirates, and I'm going to be totally honest about this. Because brownstones typically have locked front doors, you don't have a doorman to sign for packages or take them in. Packages have been known to go missing, and so you just need to be vigilant about taking them in, getting them sent to work, or just having them held at the post office or local UPS store. Pros. If you're looking to live in a vibrant and lively area that's in the heart of Boston, definitely check out the South End. The South End is probably one of my top 3 favorite neighborhoods in Boston, especially if you're looking for that Boston charm and period historic details. There's a great food scene, there's tons of small businesses and small local shops, and there's a really great sense of community that you won't find anywhere else. Here is what my perfect day in the South End looks like if I lived in the South End. First, I would get up and go to a solid core class in the ink block area. Afterwards, I'd shower and get ready and head over to Greystone Bakery on Appleton Street to grab a coffee and a bite to eat. My favorite coffee is probably a cold brew with their mint syrup. It sounds weird, but give it a try. Next, I'll probably duck into some shops. I'll go to Salt if I'm looking to buy something for the men in my life, or pick up a bottle of natural wine at Neighborhood Wines. Next, I'll head over to Union Park Street and hit the trifecta of stores. Hudson Interiors if I want to buy something new and funky for my apartment. Next, I'll head over to Soma and try on some really cool sunglasses and colorful glasses. And then maybe I'll head over to Cuckoo next door and check out all of the cute little baby clothes. I'll meet a friend for lunch at Petite Robert. If it's really nice outside, sit outdoors. It's great for people watching, trust me. And then afterwards, I'll probably head to Sky Candle Company where I can create my own bespoke candle with my own curated scent. It's a fun activity to do, and you get to walk away with a nice candle. Before I head home, I'll stop into Formaggio and get some meat and cheeses for a charcuterie board. And then when I'm home, I can light my candle, I'll make a little meat and cheeses board, and pour me a glass of the natural wine that I got today. That is probably my perfect day in the South End. And that's a wrap for our South End adventure. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And until next time, where we check out a different neighborhood, I'll catch you on the flip side.